The magic circle. A way to draw closed a little ring of crochet stitches for the tops of hats, the bottoms of baskets, and any other little circle you can think of. So what's so tricky about this crochet technique? Well, nothing really. It's pretty simple, but it does trip people up. So I have a couple alternatives for you at the end of the video. But first, let's demystify the magic circle. We are all familiar with making a slip knot, and a magic circle is virtually the same thing. I like to start by folding the end of my yarn like this. Then twist it once so the strands cross, and you make a little loop. Then reach down into the loop and grab the working yarn and pull it through. If you pull tight, that's a slip knot. If you don't pull tight, that's your magic circle. This little loop on top here is where you can insert your hook, and I always like to chain one to kind of secure it. Now you can start working any stitch you'd like into your magic ring. And pulling the tail makes the magic happen. The ring draws closed, as tightly as you need so there's no hole in the center. Now I know that even though I just demonstrated how simple the magic circle can be, some of you are still probably attached to your chain circles. So let me show you how you can magicify your old-fashioned chain circle to get a very similar effect. Slip stitch into the first chain of your small number of chains to make a chain circle that you're likely used to making. Chain up for your desired stitch, and begin making whichever stitch into the circle. And be sure to lay your yarn tail on top of your chains, thereby burying it under your stitches as you make them. Again, I'm making sure my tail is laying on top of my chains so that it gets buried underneath my stitches. Work as many stitches as your pattern calls for into that center ring. And since you have buried the yarn tail under your stitches as you worked, you can pull that little tail sticking out, and your circle will draw closed almost just like a magic loop. Not quite as magical, but maybe if you used a thinner yarn and a few fewer stitches than I did, then that hole would really disappear. So what if you didn't bury your tail as you worked and it's just kind of hanging out there? Well, you can grab a tapestry needle and thread it with the yarn tail. Then work that needle under all the center stitches like so. And when you've got the yarn tail thread under every stitch, you can draw it closed just like the previous two methods. And if you thread it through twice, it's even more secure. So there you have it, an easy way to crochet the magic ring, and two alternative ways to close that little hole in the center if you don't fancy yourself a magician. I'll have links down below to those patterns I referenced in the beginning of the video, and if you want to take your new magic ring skills and make a hat pattern of your own, I have a handy hat sizing chart over on my website that you can download, print, and reference when making your own hat patterns. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye!